Hello, good people of Bills Nation. After 4 weeks of this NFL season, your Bills sit atop the AFC East at 3-1 after beating the New York Jets 28-21 at Highmark Stadium last week. We would like to take this opportunity to remind you, go in the link down below, vote in the poll for the name of the new Bills Stadium. I've already cast my vote, but you are the most important part of this to name the Bills' new stadium. But looking around the NFL here before week 5, if we head on out to the AFC North, the Browns are undefeated, sitting atop the AFC North, followed closely behind the rest of the division at 2-2. So very close division there. In the AFC South, the Jags and the Titans are both undefeated so far, whereas the Colts are 2-2 and the Texans sit at 0-4. Cinderella story again for the Jags. Interesting stuff there. The Chargers sit atop the AFC West at 3-1, followed very closely by the Chiefs, and then the Broncos and the Raiders are tied for third in that division. In the NFC North, the Lions are surprising people this year. 4-0 for Detroit. The Packers are 1 game behind at 3-1, while the Bears and the Vikings sit at just 1-3. In the South, the Panthers are sitting at 3-1 on the season, where the Saints and the Bucks are both 2-2, and the Falcons sit at 1-3. Out east in the NFC, we got the Cowboys undefeated at 4-0, the Eagles at 3-1, and the Giants and the football team are both defeated at 0-4 so far this season. Out west in the NFC, it's very close. We got 3 teams, the Cardinals, the Seahawks, and the Rams, all 2-2, where the 49ers are just 1-3, but just 1 victory for them and a loss for these other 3 could very much pull that division ever so close. Now, before week 5, we got some contracts that we can negotiate. We tried negotiating with Josh Jacobs again last week. He denied us. We should be able to get him to sign here if we just bump that up. Let's not bump it up too much. Let's give him a $5.2 million deal with a signing bonus that's the same, and let's see what we get for 6 years. That's a good offer. I'm glad we got a deal done. So Josh Jacobs, our major stud running back, is with us now for the foreseeable future. And then Jordan Poyer, like I said, we'll see where we're at with him at the end of the season. Ed Oliver and Tremaine Edmonds are both here ready to negotiate. So if we go to Oliver, he only wants a 2-year deal at $4 million. I want to keep him a little bit longer than that. Let's try to go for a 4-year deal for him. Let's try to go for a 4-year deal. And I don't want to give him that. Let's give him a $3.5 million signing bonus. But in order to make sure that he signs, let's bump his contract up to... Should I go 4.5? Let's go with 4.6. Why not? And Ed Oliver, I'm excited to sign such a great offer and stay with the team. So Ed Oliver's back. We don't have to worry about him going anywhere. And Tremaine Edmonds, let's see where we're at with him. He wants a 5-year deal. I mean, I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. Length is fine. Let's take you down to 5. And let's cut this down to 4.5. And will he sign that? I like the length of the contract, but that's about it. Well, thanks, Tremaine. You're awesome, buddy. So Tremaine will still negotiate with. Jacobs and Oliver both signed, so I'm happy with that. When we go and look at the Dolphins, the Dolphins are not the same team as they were last year. And don't let their 1-3 record fool you. This is a deadly, deadly, deadly team. So if we go to the Dolphins, obviously they've picked up Davante Adams. They still have a really good secondary. Was Byron Jones there last year? I think he was. Yeah. Okay. I couldn't remember on that. I believe I'm not 100% sure on every single player. I know Ogbada was there. Joseph Day is new. They signed him from the Rams in this. So they've beefed up the defense. Same with Hightower. Hightower's new to their team. I feel like they got somebody else as well. Sony Michel's here. I think that's about it, though. Honestly. Nothing big there. Nothing big really there. Their line, I don't think anything's new there. They got a rookie center. We looked at Nick Miller, actually. How is Nick Miller? Hidden Dev. Okay. I see you, Nick. Yeah. So they're going to have a really good center here in the future. But I think that's about it. I think the Adams, Michelle, as well as Hightower, and Day, those signings were the big ones for them. But yeah, this is not the same Dolphins team that we played last year. This is definitely not the same Dolphins team that we played last year. So without any further ado, let's head on out to Highmark Stadium to play the Dolphins. Welcome everyone to week 5 of Madden NFL 22 right here on Snyderman Broadcasting, where your Buffalo Bills are set to play host to the Miami Dolphins and Tua Tagovailoa and his new weapon Davante Adams. It's supposed to be a pretty good show here between your Bills and the Dolphins, as the Dolphins look to stay in the AFC East here very early on in the season, but they have a tough task ahead of them as your Bills are rolling out to a 3-1 record, losing only to the Chiefs in week 1 by 3 points. And there you see one of the men most responsible for that success is Josh Jacobs. Almost 150 yards for him on the week last week against the New York Jets. But it is week 5. Kickoff is queued up, and here we go for week 5 of the NFL, as that kickoff is going to be brought out to about the 30, where Tua and company are going to look to start hot here in week 5. And there you see the season stats for young Tua. Almost, or just over 1,100 yards, rather. 4 touchdowns. You would like to see those interceptions cleaned up on behalf of the Miami Dolphins. The Bills look to improve that number for Tua, and by improve, I do mean they look to add a few more interceptions to that stat line. But that is going to be Gesicki, who gets the first reception of the ball game. He's going to pick up a good chunk of yards there on the very first play. It's going to be 2nd and 1 for the Dolphins. Tua has them driving quickly down the field. It's 3rd and 3, ball at the Bills 5. Tua's going to drop back. He's going to find Gesicki again, only this time that is going to be Jordan Poyer with his 3rd tackle on the day, stopping Gesicki short of the touchdown and the first down, and that is going to lead to Sanders coming out and getting a very early field goal, putting the Dolphins up by 3 very early on here in the ball game. So 3-0 Fins here early in the first, but here come the Bills and Josh Allen, just over 1,000 yards on the campaign for Allen. 7 touchdowns and only 2 interceptions. We cannot say enough about ball security this year compared to last year for Allen, as he's dropped back and he's going to find Davis for, call it, about 9 on that play, and that will be another 9 yards, so call it 1,018 yards on the season for Allen now. Good little route there across the middle for Davis. Davis looks to be more involved as this season moves forward. Play action to Jacobs, and that will be Juju on the slant route, getting a big gain, putting the Bills deep-ish, deep adjacent, if you will, in Miami territory. But they're moving those chains, and there's the poise in the pocket that we've been seeing all season long from Allen. He's got to love having Juju on this team, adding another weapon that defenses have to account for in this high-powered Bills offense. Allen out of the gun. He's going to drop back again, looking for Diggs, finding Diggs, and that is a touchdown to put the Bills up 7-3 here late in the first. There's about 3 minutes left, maybe closer to 2 minutes here in the first, as that is a big play to Diggs, putting the Bills up early. So there you go. The Bills out to a fast start yet again. That tends to be the theme. They usually get the lead and don't let it go too often here so far this season. Is Bass. He's going to kick it off here, and that is going to be Noah that receives it, and he's off. He's off to the races. He's beat pretty much every defender. Levi May attempting to catch up, but they will not catch him, as just like that, the Dolphins take back the lead on the very next kickoff. So that is very disappointing. He was gone. Let's see that again if we can. Just off to the races. Nobody within 10 yards of him by the time he crosses the goal line. That is pure speed on behalf of the Miami Dolphins. So these Bills on the defensive yet again, and I must have jinxed them. I told you they didn't give up leads too often. They really haven't so far this season, but they just did in a hurry there, as that's going to be a little dump off to Levi May, who's going to truck a defender, not get a whole lot, call it 8 there on the gain for Levi May, as Allen out of the gun again. He's going to hand it off to Jacobs. Jacobs finds the edge, and he's going to get about 10 on that one. So that'll be a 10-yard gain for Jacobs, putting him over 500 yards rushing on the season. So Jacobs having a huge season so far. 500 yards already, and it's just the first quarter of week 5. First quarter in the books. It's 10-7 Miami. This game brought to you by Wizards of the Coast, publishers of Dungeons & Dragons. Go into fantasy with your friends. We are in no way affiliated with Dungeons & Dragons. This is just a shameless plug, as Allen is going to drop back, and he's going to find Juju over the middle, getting the first down, putting the Bills into Miami territory. They're at the 20 now. Allen under center. And single safety over top for Miami on this coverage, as this is a handoff to Jacobs. Jacobs is going to juke a defender, fight for the first and get the first, putting the Bills in a first and goal situation from the 6-yard line of Miami. So first quarter starts with a big completion to Juju, and then a big run by Jacobs puts the Bills in scoring position. However, the drive is going to stall out, and this will be a Tyler Bass chip-in field goal, up and good. So that will tie this ball game all at 10, as Bass comes in with a little putt field goal. And here comes Miami's offense, led by Tua. So far, Davante Adams has been pretty quiet. I know if you are the Bills secondary, you love to hear that statement, but you cannot guarantee that that's going to last long, as they hand it off to Gaskin for a little modest 2-yard gain. But again, Tua has the offense moving as they are at their own 42, threatening to get into Bills territory. But that will be Drew Seymour. No, that would be Epinesa. Excuse me. AJ Epinesa hits Tua from the edge. And Seymour is going to hit Tua on that throw. He's going to find Gaskin out in the flat. But that will not be enough for the first. That'll bring up 4th and 5. So Seymour hits Tua, and that will lead to a Miami punt. As there you see the pressure. Barely able to get that pass off to Gaskin, and just a 5-yard gain on that. So if you are Gaskin, you got to make sure that route goes beyond the sticks to keep that drive moving. But nonetheless, Miami's going to punt it away for Josh Jacobs and company to continue to drive, try to build this lead out before the half. About 5 minutes left to go in the half, and that will not do it as Jacobs goes the wrong direction. 2-yard loss on the play brings up 2nd and 12 for the Bills. 2nd and 5 now. Ball at their own 39. It's going to be Jacobs again, and this time he's going to get the first in. Speaking of Jacobs, Jacobs has a monster deal that he just signed. Keeps him in Buffalo long term. So Jacobs is going to be here for the next 6 years after this season. So Buffalo is set in the running game, hopefully for a long, long time. I know that they've been loving Jacobs' contributions so far, as Allen looks for Juju, finds Juju. Juju's going to get the ball out to about the 33, call it 34 based on the spot, as Juju gets another first down for these Bills, and the Bills are moving with 2 back-to-back first downs. Bills wearing their throwback red helmets. I know they've enjoyed not having the single helmet rule in the NFL, but yet again, the drive is going to stall. Tyler Bass has the leg, and it is up and good. So a 53-yarder from Bass puts the Bills up by 3 just before the half. 1 minute left for Tua and company to try to answer back with points of their own before we head into halftime. We'll see what this Dolphins offense is able to do. They've been moving the ball pretty efficiently so far today. If you're the Bills defense, you'd like to tighten that up just a little bit, and that will be over the middle. First down puts the Dolphins at about midfield. Tua out of a gun formation. He's going to draw back. He's going to have time. He's going to scramble, and he will be taken down by Desmond Trufant. Big run there, but that will put their kicker Sanders in a position to try to tie the game, and he will not do it. That was about a 55, almost 60-yard field goal there to try to end the half, but falls just short as your Bills go into halftime with the lead 13-10. This is a good time to remind you that your vote still matters when it comes to the name of the Bills' new stadium. Link down below in the description of this broadcast. Go cast your vote. Meanwhile, around the NFL, the Raiders go up to Foxborough, and they are behind by 2 scores, 14-0, just before half, as Mac Jones and company are putting it to the Raiders so far in the first half. Meanwhile, down in Carolina, the Panthers are up 21-10 right before the half in that game as well. Sam Darnold's 2 touchdowns on the day in that one. Heading on down to Dallas, where the Minnesota Vikings are up by 3 at halftime in that one. Kirk Cousins with a touchdown for Delvin Cook in that one as well. CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott connected for a touchdown on the other side. But meanwhile, it is time for half number 2 as McKenzie is under this kickoff. He'll field it at about the 5 and take it out to about the 30. Call it the 29 based on that spot. As McKenzie puts the Bills in good field position. Bills with the lead and the football to start half number 2, as there is Jacobs' numbers on the season there. 527 yards and 4 touchdowns so far for Jacobs. Those are the stats we've been singing praises for all day long. Can't say enough about the contributions of Jacobs. And speaking of Jacobs, he does get the ball and trucks over a defender for the first down, giving him 56 yards on the day. But the story of that one was just Jacobs bullying, and I do mean absolutely bullying the defender on that run. Moving the chains as boom! Right there. Jacobs just putting the defender on the ground. Here's another angle at it as he's running, and that is Holland that just gets leveled by the big shoulder of Jacobs. That's the power running we've been talking about all season on display. Bravo, young man, bravo. As the Bills are driving now, they're at the Miami 15. Allen is going to drop back. He's going to look for, and he's going to find Juju. He was in triple coverage. Juju just jumps over 3 Miami defenders and gets that pass. Bills at the 1, and who else but Josh Jacobs finishes off the drive. So that powerful run leads to 7 more points for the Buffalo Bills. It was set up by another powerful run by Jacobs, as well as that awesome catch by Juju to put these Bills in scoring position. It is now 20-10 Buffalo, about midway through the third quarter. And there again, you see Davante Adams very quiet on the day. Not much from him, as this will be Gaskin on the first play of this Miami drive. Gets about 2, so you'd like to see more contribution from him. But Tua and company are driving down the field, and there is a good pass from Tua that is going to keep this ball moving. Gaskin is going to be stuffed on that play. That would be a Greg Rousseau on that play. You love what he does off the edge if you are a Bills fan. Can't say enough about Rousseau. We've been talking about him for the last 2 seasons. But Miami's knocking on the door. Tua, and he's going to find Adams in the back of the end zone. So finally, we do mention Adams' name. He hasn't been doing much today, but he does put 6 points on the board for Miami. It's going to be 20-17 after the extra point. But there you saw some nice poise in the pocket from Tua, and looks for and finds his big weapon in Davante Adams. This Miami team will be a force this year and into the future. I can guarantee that. With the additions of Adams, there is no way this team does not move up in reputation and what they've been able to do so far. Allen is going to drop back. He's going to air it out, looking for a big play to Diggs. And that will just fall harmlessly to the turf. So lucky that didn't end up worse for Allen. Just throwing a bomb up to Diggs and not finding it. Again, he looks for Juju. 2 defenders in the vicinity. So dangerous pass by Allen again. Just falls to the turf. And that will lead to a punt. We haven't been saying that much this season for Buffalo. But that will lead to a punt by Buffalo, as Gaskin, he's going to move this ball forward for about, call it 5 on the play, and that will end quarter number 3 with our score 20-17 Buffalo. So we got a good one brewing here. You don't want to miss a minute of this action with these 2 teams. And here we go, quarter number 4 underway as Tua's going to take off. He's going to get the first. You would have liked to see him slide there, but Tua does pick up the first. Takes a shot from White and Rousseau on that play. So if you're Tua, you got to learn to slide so you don't take those shots. Again, Tua's going to go. He's going to be looking for space, not finding much, as he's going to be taken down by Hyde. Again, self-preservation. If you are Tua, just give yourself up on that play. Take what you can get. That is going to lead to a Miami punt now, as Buffalo will get the ball back with some time here in the fourth quarter and the lead. So Josh Allen, there you see the stats on the day. knocking on the door, about 200 yards passing for him. And, of course, that touchdown throw to Diggs. Highlights for Mr. Allen today. Allen dropping back. He's going to find Juju. We've been saying that a lot today. Juju quickly becoming one of Josh's favorite targets, no matter where they're at on the field. Allen again drops back. He's going to hit James White, the former Patriot, on the screen. Not much doing there. In fact, going the wrong direction on the screen, as that makes it 3rd and 12. Nothing really doing for these Bills, but there is Bass with the big leg up and good, extending this lead out. It is now 23-17 Buffalo after that 50-yard field goal by Bass. Tua, he's going to air it out. He's going to find Adams. Adams down the middle of the field. He's in Bills territory to about the 38. So Adams now, with just 3 receptions on the day, that one was a big one, has the Dolphins in scoring position as Tua and this Miami offense seems unstoppable. There's Adams again. He gets it inside the 5 up to about. So Miami's knocking on the door yet again. Ball at the 3. 1st and goal from the 3-yard line. Tua is going to hand it off to Sony Michel, and Sony Michel gets in for a touchdown. The almost Buffalo Bill this offseason, he was in negotiations with Buffalo as well as Miami. Looked for a while there that Michel would come to Buffalo to kind of give a 1-2 punch to this run game. But instead he opts to go with Miami, and he puts Miami in front by 1, 24-23 Dolphins with just 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So Buffalo has to score with urgency, but you don't want to leave too much time on the clock with the way that your defense has been playing against this Miami team. You don't want to leave too much room for Miami to score, as Allen there looks for Diggs, not finding anybody. 2nd and 10, ball at the Miami 43. Allen airs it out, again looking for Diggs, again not finding anybody. So there's not much there for Allen on those last 2 plays, as he's going to drop back. Finds Juju, but Juju is going to be short of the 1st on 3rd down, and the Bills are going to call a timeout. Down by 1, less than a minute to go in the game. This will be a 53-yard field goal from Bass, up and good. Puts the Bills up late, 26-24 Buffalo. And now if you are Miami, you have to score quick. There are about 45 seconds left on the clock if you are Tua and Miami. Tua is going to try to get out of the pocket, and he's not going to have much. Takes a big shot from Milano. Timeout Miami with about 30 seconds left to go in the ball game. 2nd and 8, ball at the Miami 26. And that is a nice little check down there in the flat to Gaskin. Not much doing on that. Ball at the Miami 35. 3 seconds left. They're just going to have to take a shot, and it is no good. There is nobody there. So that will do it. Tua throws up a prayer on the last play of the game, and it falls on deaf ears as your Bills squeak out a victory, 26-24 here in Buffalo. Juju, the hero of the game, big numbers from him, big numbers from Josh Jacobs on this day. 26-24 your final. We are going to remind you one more time, there's a link down below. Help us name the Bills' new home for next season. If you are not subscribed to Snyderman Broadcasting, go ahead and hit the subscribe button now so you don't miss a minute of the NFL and Madden NFL 22 right here on Snyderman Broadcasting. In the meantime, Be good, and we will see you next week, Bills Nation.